when it boils down to it, both of these guys need a win now. Mauricio Herrera is 35 years old. What is he? 21-5 with 7 KOs. While you got Hank Lundy, who's 25-4-1 with 12 KOs. I am T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. Now, in my opinion, I've said multiple times that Mauricio Herrera should be in the top 5 pound for pound, in my opinion. Now, when you look at the fact that he should be the WBC, WBA, and Ring Magazine recognized champion because he hasn't lost significantly since after he should have defeated Danny Garcia. Now, remember, I'm from Philadelphia. So, me watching that fight, and Danny Garcia was the hometown favorite because even though, you know, he wasn't born in Puerto Rico, the fight took place in Puerto Rico, and going up against a Mexican fighter in Puerto Rico, the judges are going to go the way of the hometown countryman. So when I first, okay, I tell you what, when I first heard that Danny Garcia was fighting Mauricio Herrera, and people will remember, this was a while ago, people were saying, oh, Danny Garcia is just going to knock him out because Danny Garcia was riding high off of that Lucas Matisse win. I thought to myself, whoa, 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 whoa. Do these people know who Mauricio Herrera is? The one who went through hell and back to hand Ruslan Provodnikov at that point in time his most significant clear-cut defeat? Or how about the guy that defeated, if I'm correct, at that point in time, Mike Dallas Jr. was undefeated at that time before Randall Bailey took his soul? What about the fight with Mike Alvarado? Even though he lost that fight, Mike Alvarado was a top contender at that point in time and still undefeated. What about the fight against Kareem Mayfield in which he threw more punches, but he still ended up losing the fight? So when you look at the last 3 fights of Mauricio Herrera, last fight was against Jose Benavidez, a top up-and-coming super prospect, you might as well say. I thought that Mauricio Herrera won that fight, and I'm not the only one. But remember, they had to go where the money is, and the money is in Jose Benavidez. A lot of people are saying that Mauricio Herrera is always going to get treated like that by the judges because he's got to start knocking guys out. I don't think that's the right mentality. I remember we had a long Google chat after the Mauricio Herrera versus Jose Benavidez fight, and it was a big debate about, well, Herrera's got to start knocking guys out if he wants to start getting significant wins over his opponents. I mean, meaning clear-cut wins over his opponents. I don't actually think that's the case. I just think, you know, the politics in boxing have got to come to an end. But Mauricio Herrera is a clear-cut example. Now, when it comes to his fight before Jose Benavidez against Johan Perez, I actually thought he was on his way to losing that fight. That was a very tough fight for him, but he did win. Johan Perez, if you don't know, fought Yoshihiro Kamagai before Yoshihiro Kamagai fought Robert Guerrero. If I'm correct, that was on the same undercard of Guerrero versus Kamagai. Or was it Sean Porter versus Kell Brook? I don't remember. But you look at the fight before that, Danny Garcia, where he was jabbing the shit out of Danny Garcia, and he didn't get, as I said, the favor because he's from, hold on, I want the sound coming on. Because he's a Puerto Rican fighter, not from Puerto Rico, but a Puerto Rican fighter. Now, when you look at Hank Lundy, if I'm correct, Hank Lundy is 31 or 32 years old. I don't remember. Basically, we're around the same age. He's been in also some big fights, somewhat controversial loss to Maz Delorme, where in my opinion it should have been a draw, you know. But at the same time, I can see how it went either way. But toward the end of that fight, after the knockdown, you know, somewhat of a flash knockdown that Tomas Delorme had hit Henry Lundy with, or Hank Lundy, he kind of lost his confidence a little bit. But then I forgot who his trainer is. But his trainer, you know, like pretty much let him know, like, look, you know, you fighting like a bitch. You know, so he went out there and he made the proper adjustments. And guess what he did? He won, in my opinion, the entire second half of the fight. Whereas he was applying so much pressure on Delorme that Delorme didn't know how to deal with it. And we saw flashes of that with Delorme in the past against Abregu, who was his first official loss, and also after he beat Lundy against Terrence Crawford. He can't handle pressure. So for Hank Lundy, this is a situation where both of these guys But Herrera or Lundy are not going to knock each other out. So therefore, I got to go with the skills, and I got to go with the work ethic in the ring. And in my opinion, this is going to be a tough fight to call. Because why? Because you have two evenly matched opponents. Both of these guys are not going to knock each other out. And then if you're a guy that's not going to hurt Lundy or knock him out, then he has a very good chance of beating you. So therefore, this is not just some fight that's going to be, oh, well, you know, easy win for Herrera. I have Herrera winning. Hank Lundy, I'm sorry, even though he's from Philly, thank you for the interview. Also, if you don't know, they're going to be providing full coverage, so which means that one of my video reporters, Chris Alexander, is going to be at the fight, also providing coverage for all the fight week events. So here on T Street Controversy Live, I'll be doing my post-fight video, I'll be doing a Google Hangout, and hopefully there's no shenanigans with the judges. And plus, you know, like Mauricio Herrera, like he's one of those fighters that the fans will always support, but at the same time, one of the biggest issues I'm having with this fight is the broadcast. It's on HBO Latino, so therefore I'm going to have to sit through an HBO Latino. It's Espanol broadcast. Now me, I don't speak Spanish, you know, but I can hold small conversations, but I can understand Spanish. So therefore, I'm going to be here live after the fight. Please subscribe. Visit realcombatmedia.com for all your latest updates on mixed martial arts, boxing, of course, jiu-jitsu, and the links right below in the description box. As I said, we will be providing full coverage. Full coverage means the media workouts for both fighters. Shout out to Hank Lundy. He recently got married. The final press conference, the weigh-in, and of course the post-fight press conference. And in between all that, you'll have my video and maybe the highlights. T Street Controversy Live.